Evolution of life in New Zealand from Gondwana to now.
Somewhere between 65 to 200 million years ago, the supercontinent of Gondwana land split up into the continents we know today. The tectonic plates had a significant role in the separation of Gondwana land. The tectonic plates are giant pieces of the Earth's crust, and they move slowly. It is thought to believe that the tectonic plates are what caused Gondwana to separate. The way the plates work is they move very slowly and meet together at what is called a boundary. Some boundaries will move apart for liquid rock to seep in. This then hardens and becomes the new crust of the Earth. The landmass that was to become New Zealand split off from Gondwana. This area that split off was about 10 times the size of New Zealand today. It was called Zealandia. The full separation of Zealandia to form New Zealand took over 20 million years.
This land differed from every other large landmass on Earth because of its long isolation. There are strange life forms that had adapted to a mammalian predator-free environment. The largest predator was the housed eagle, which later on went extinct due to humans hunting out their main food source, the moa. When Gondwana started to break up and split into Zealandia, the climate was warm and there were animals, trees and no ice sheets, much like New Zealand's climate today. Once Gondwana had split, many plant and animal groups radiated. Radiation is when a species rapidly evolves into many species, each adapted to different habitats or conditions. This radiation was caused by three factors: New Zealand breaking into islands, the cooling climate, and the increasingly mountainous landscapes.
However, for a long time before these radiations, many New Zealand plants and animals were similar to those in Australia because the climate and soils were alike. Plants such as sheet oaks, gum trees and bottle brushes flourished in both New Zealand and Australia. But as Australia moved northward, New Zealand lay further south in cooler waters, and this caused many adaptations to occur. Glaciers in New Zealand advanced and retreated as the climate cooled and warmed. New Zealand life forms then either became extinct or adapted. When New Zealand split off, it was surrounded by warm to subtropical waters. As the land moved north, marine corals and tropical mangroves fringed the shores. The land got flooded by the sea and eroded. As the landscape and climate changed, plants and animals either evolved or became extinct. Many of the animals we had in New Zealand were similar to those in Australia, but as the country drifted into cooler zones and mountains formed, species either died out or evolved, adapting to the new climate and landscape.
However, before it split, Gondwana land was home to dinosaurs. Those dinosaurs were an almost entirely different set of dinosaurs that evolved in their own unique ways. Some of these dinosaurs were Giganotosaurus, Spinosaurus, and Argentinosaurus. However, as you know, dinosaurs went extinct around 65 million years ago. Dinosaurs were not the only life form on Gondwana land when it was together. Many of the birds we see today have ancestors from Gondwana. Some of these are tuatara, kiwi, moa, kakapo, geckos, wrens, and some primitive groups of insects, spiders, and earthworms. However, it seems that most of the ancestors of many of New Zealand's plants and animals landed in New Zealand long after New Zealand had split from Gondwana. This is outstanding given the distance between New Zealand and the nearest landmass, Australia. It is thought that many common plant families did not evolve until long after New Zealand had split from Gondwana. They arrived by crossing the ocean.
New Zealand's landscape is mostly created by volcanic activity as well as tectonic plates creating mountains. The Southern Alps are one of the fastest moving mountains in the world due to frequent landslides triggered by different earthquakes and glacial actions. The world's last ice age majorly changed the Earth and New Zealand alike. The huge glaciers brought up mountains and covered up continents including New Zealand. Because of this, the birds were forced into isolated pockets and they evolved new traits to survive. The kiwi was still going strong throughout the Ice Age. Some of the glaciers we still have today are Franz Josef, Tasman, Fox, Hooker, and Mueller. animals adapted over time to fit the changing climate. Some examples of adaptations that New Zealand animals have are being flightless, as due to New Zealand's isolation there were no mammal predators to hunt them, having beaks suited to their food source, and being nocturnal.
What has happened in the past has shaped New Zealand to what it is today. The flora and fauna we see now came back from when Gondwana existed. Without all of this change and evolution, New Zealand may have been completely different, may have even not existed.